Your true essence is in the absence of your identity. Your true sunflower, bloomer, and light is in the absence of your perfectionism. Your true multidimensionality is in the absence of the attachment to yourself, right? And so you are a multidimensional being. But it's all about coming back to that remembering through detaching from your identity, detaching from perfectionism, detaching from the self. See, you've got a lot of labels that you've either imposed onto yourself or you have accepted from others because they have put them onto you, or something similar to that, right? You have a lot of labels that you have confirmed to, that you have conformed to as well. And so whenever you've got a label about yourself, because we have a confirmation bias, we are going to look for the different things that is going to confirm to us that we are this specific thing, right? You'll begin to believe that you are this and this and this label, when in fact, you are so much more than these labels, right? You are infinite potential. You are love expressing itself in infinite ways. I mean, look at the way that you have evolved up until this point in your life. Okay? You might be happy about that growth or not so happy, but you have still evolved, haven't you? In some ways, shape or form. You probably have, a sense of dissonance with some things that you've done before, and you have resonance with other things. See? You change, you grow, and you evolve, but for some reason, we tend to believe that we are the labels that we give ourselves or that others give to us, when in fact, you are multidimensional. You are multidimensional. So catch yourself whenever you feel like you've imposed something onto yourself where you currently feel as if though it constrains things for you, right? If you feel limited, if you feel like you are more than that now, or you have evolved and grown beyond it, then you are more than welcome to grow beyond it. You are more than welcome to choose to grow beyond it, beyond the label. Because you can. It's just that you think that you can't, or that you won't, because of this and this and this reason that you might come up with. But you can. So if you're looking for permission to go beyond the labels that you've given yourself or that others have given to you, that you have conformed to or confirmed and basically, integrated into your life, instead of doing so, you can actually begin to live authentically and begin to learn new things about yourself through doing different things, following your sense of curiosity, and speaking about things that you normally haven't spoken about before, expressing yourself in ways that you haven't before, just stretching yourself beyond what you currently perceive to be yourself. You see, when you become attached to that which you are, and you begin to define yourself as this thing, as soon as you bring these labels onto yourself, that's kind of the death of the new. Because the new can only come through you when you basically detach from identity, detach from labels, detach from this quote-unquote self. But you know, in psychology, they say that we need an ego. We need this to be able to function, to be able to distinguish between self and others, and to be able to set clear boundaries around ourselves. Well, to some degree, yes. Being able to set boundaries, being able to clearly know and distinguish between self and other can be really helpful. And absolutely, it is essential, especially in the beginning of your personal growth journey, to begin to know, who am I? As I am right now. What are my values? What do I stand for? But here's the thing. Oftentimes when we grow and we evolve and we kind of level up, meaning returning back to within, basically, of who we truly are in our essence, when we do that, somehow a lot of high performers tend to then begin to create another alter ego, like a different ego beyond that. And so we go from one ego to a different ego, to a different ego, to a different ego. And at one point you begin to identify with something else and something else and something else. But is this serving you or is it limiting you? I'm just questioning. I'm just asking you, is it serving you right now? What would serve you the most right now? Would it be to hold on to the labels you have onto yourself, that you say about yourself, that you identify as yourself? Or are you in a transition, a phase which I call a liminal space, where you don't necessarily know right now? You feel like you're growing, but you don't know who you're growing into, what you're growing into, who you're becoming. You don't know. But for some reason, that scares you, doesn't it? It scares you to not know who you are becoming, who you are growing into. When in fact, that is the most exciting thing about being alive, about being here now. That you don't know. That is exciting. Do you know how exciting that is? That you get to grow here now? It is exciting if you choose to see it that way. If you choose to just be in this transitional kind of space or liminal space where you don't need to hold on to all these labels. In fact, you can just surrender them and live without any labels whatsoever. You are just simply exploring. So if someone asks you, what do you do? Right? What are you passionate about? Who are you? You can say, I don't know. I'm just exploring right now. See, isn't that just beautiful? But you can only begin to do that when you bloom beyond perfectionism, you see. When you begin to see that that is exciting, that you don't need any labels to hold on to, right? That you are multidimensional. That in and of itself is a label, by the way, but it can actually serve you right now, right? You have different dimensions to yourself, right? When you say, I am this and this and this, you truly become it. There's a saying, abracadabra. It means with words I create, and whatever comes after I am, that is what you create in your life. That is what you become. That is what you grow into. So be aware of what kind of labels come after I am for you. Because you get to choose differently now, right? You get to go beyond those labels and choose to see yourself as multidimensional. If this is something that you would like to explore further, right? Explore your multidimensionality. If you feel like you are currently in a transit, in a liminal space, in a space where you can't fully decide or define what you are and who you are, then definitely apply to join the Bloom Beyond tribe for sunflowers and bloomers, just like me and you, who are high performers, who are committed to create a life and business of freedom from perfectionism with the power of the subconscious mind. Together, we can bloom beyond this attachment to identity, this attachment to perfectionism and self, seeing that you are true essence. You are a sunflower and a bloomer. You are multidimensional. Go to bloombeyond.com/apply to apply. We'll read through that application. There's a 256 members limit and monthly cohorts. So there's a waiting time and a waiting list. Truly exclusive community for those who are truly freaking committed to grow, right? To grow beyond the limits of what you define as you and bloom beyond perfectionism. Stay bright, brave, and balanced.